Hello, everybody. Welcome or welcome back. My name is Monique, and I'm on a financial health journey to create an inheritance for the generations to come. I want to do that through consistency and discipline. Today is Wednesday, May the 15th. We are here to do a budget closeout for the paycheck I received May 3rd I received on May 3rd, and that covered bills between May 3rd and May 16th. Yes, it's the 15th, and so I am doing this a little bit early, but you guys will probably see this on the 16th. I usually do it a day before so that I can load the video on the right day. And so we will go ahead and get into it. Thank you for everyone who's liked or commented on any of my videos, especially my community posts wishing me congratulations for getting married. And then to those that have chosen to subscribe to my channel. I truly started this as a way to hold myself accountable, but I understand, recognizing, appreciate the community as a whole. So if you're rocking with me on this journey, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you haven't made up your mind yet, sit with me for a spell. At the end of this video, if you find that this is content that's valuable or enjoyable, please feel free to subscribe. I am a newly married mother of 3, and I have some bonus babies, and we'll be talking about that in the weeks to come as I start to adjust some things as far as the budget is concerned. So there'll be a lot of changes that we'll be making in this budget. Overall, not as detailed about hubby's finances. I call them my sweets finances versus mine, but where I have incorporated things in here to help as we are combining everything. You know, we are not just one as far as bills are concerned. We're one as far as everything is concerned. And so you'll start to see some of that stuff come out. And we'll talk about it a little bit as well towards the end of this video after we're finished with this particular budget closeout. I don't think that we're going to change things right now where I'm going to move back to doing a weekly, but it might be on the horizon. We'll see, but you will still see a few new categories or envelopes as far as my wallets are concerned, as well as some changes in how I am allocating funds as well. All right, so let us get into it. So I do have 2 wallets here, the one that I took with me for travel, because I believe this is where all my change is. And then after I got back from South Carolina, where I did my typical cash wallets for gas, I'm sorry, not gas, that's wrong, groceries or dining out, etc. That's in here as well. So I'm going to sit both of these over to the side for right now, and then let's hop into the budget. I'm going to stay out for a second, and I hope this is coming over pretty clear. I am going to bring this up because y'all, this might be the last time that you see a calendar like this. We're gonna have to make a change for this. So this is probably the thing that I'm saddened by the most, but it's all good because we're doing it for a great reason. All right, so let's look here, and we will see, and when I say you'll see this for the last time for the month of May, I'm going to finish it out, but then starting in June, we'll have something else. So I've got iCloud that came out, Apple Care came out, AT&T came out as well. Verizon did too. So let me go ahead and mark that off as well. So this is 15th. This budget closes out on the 16th, although they're coming to cut the lawn on that day. Lawn Love is coming to cut the lawn. I won't see that charge amount until Monday, which is fine because I actually get paid on the 17th. So we will finish up these last 2 weeks, and then this one will go bye-bye, and these monthly calendars will go bye-bye. All right, so let us jump into the budget. Let's see. Let's put this over and then see where we are. Sorry, I'm shaking the camera. All right, so this is another boring budget. No, it's not boring. I take that back. All right, let's talk about it. So bills account, I expected $11.75. That's what I got. Variable account, I expected $5.30. That's what I got. Micah gave me the $40. I had $55 in rollover from the previous week budget that I did. Corinne's dad gave her $200. That's been allocated towards the senior binder, so I did add that information in, and that's why you have it showing over here in actual, but you don't have it in budget. I don't budget for it because I'm not sure exactly the day I'm going to receive it. So I just fill it in the actual when it comes. And then you'll see there's an extra Kohl's payment that we'll make, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And that was for $114. So $11.75 plus $530 plus $40 plus $55, $200, and $114 equals $2,114. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that off in green. Anything in green is good. Anything in red is bad. $114. All right, there you go. Next, all of the bills have cleared. That's why you have the check mark going down the center here. So everything came in as expected except Lawn Love. I did pay them a little bit more once I decided to give them another tip. Not as much of a tip as I gave them the first time that they came out, but I did want to give them a tip nonetheless. So that was a little bit more than I anticipated. Everything else came out as expected. So I'm going to take this $866, which was the total that I was supposed to pay. I had a $5 extra here for Lawn Love, so I'm just going to add 5. $871. We're going to work smarter, not harder. So $871 here, and I'm going to mark that off in red, because that is a little bit more than I anticipated. So let's subtract 211, 114 minus 871 equals $1,243 remaining. $43 remaining. All right, there you go. Next, let's talk about variable expenses. So for our expense log, here are all the expenses that I had for this past week. So we already talked about these up here. Drew a line in between to show when I started a new variable expense week. So for this week, anything that you see in blue, those are all expenses that were covered under a sinking fund of some type, or if I had buffer that it was pulled from. So it was not pulled from the variable expense numbers that you see here. Okay, so that's why they're marked out in blue. Let's blow it up and talk about it. So I did get a car wash, but that came out of variable buffer. I did get household items from Walmart for $38. I did take from my beauty supply to get some beautified things so that I can make myself beautiful for last Friday. We got gas for $35 at Raceway. I went to a spot that's located in my home city that I always get a curly burger basket, and it's really just a cheeseburger that they make with pimento cheese on top of it, but it is the bomb, as well as a pineapple sundae with wet walnuts and a large grape soda. That was how I lived my entire college life, and so every time I go home, I do have to make sure that I stop by the Dairy O and get my favorite meal. But let me just tell you, the price, $17, I was like, whoa. Everything is just so high right now, but I did it and it's done. Corinne got her money. I did have to get gas again before I left town. Headed back to Georgia as well. I did spend $5. My sweets wanted a little something to drink and some chips for the ride back to Georgia. So I got that. I had to go to Walmart to get some meds. My two daughters were not feeling well, so I just went on this past Monday and got them some things, but that came out of my deductible sinking fund. And then I gave my sweets cash, $50 for groceries. Groceries cost more than that, but he was like, just give me that and I'll take care of the rest, which was great because that means there's more money as far as my groceries are concerned. I'm way under budget for that. And that's going to help out with savings challenges for this coming week. And so, again, you'll start to see some of these types of things in there. When he can handle groceries, I'm going to let him be a man and handle groceries, and I'm going to put my money away. I also needed some gas after I got back for this past week. Didn't have to worry about because my sweets took care of it as well. Y'all are going to get sick of me. I'm just going to tell you right now, you're going to get sick of me. All right, so I added up all of these things. I have them color-coded based on what category those funds come out of. And then I went ahead and added that up already here to make things a little bit easier. So We did a mid-week or mid-bi-week check-in last week, and those are the numbers that you see here. So we've already talked about those. Here's week 2. So remember, for this particular category, variable expenses, I'm giving myself money for 2 weeks, but I break it up into weekly cycle or weekly chunks, because I don't want to overspend. Don't want to overspend, and then that week leading up to my paycheck week, I have less because I tried to spend more because I had more money in my hand. So I always divide it up. So week 1 we talked about already. Then you have your week 2. So for week 2, I allotted myself $50 for gas for that week, but I spent $60. So that's why it's in red. I gave myself $100 for groceries, but I only had to spend $50, so it's in green because that's under budget. For home, I gave myself $40. I spent $38. It's green instead of red. I forgot I gave myself a little bit extra for home, so that should have been green as well. Corinne got her 10 that she expected in Cash App and 10 in cash. I went $2 over, that doggone Dario. I went $2 over for my portion of money that I get, so that's why that's in red. But I gave myself dining out $30, and this is incorrect as well because I only have 20. I counted, so I'm missing 10 someplace. I don't know where that someplace is, but there's $10 that must be missing if I gave myself 30. Something's wrong right there, and I'm gonna have to spend a little bit of time trying to figure that out. No, you know where that $10 is? That $10 is in groceries, in that buffer. I know what I did. I'm gonna leave this at 0 for right now. I'm just gonna leave it at 0, but I know exactly what I did with that money, so I'm not gonna talk about it anymore because I know I know exactly what I did. All right, so let's add this up. 60 plus 50 plus 38, 10, 22 equals $190. So I'm going to mark that. What color should that be? That should be green. 190 because I had 250 allotted. So that should leave me with $60. That is exactly what I have in my wallet. So what am I going to do with that money? So I'm going to roll that money over, that $60 over into... And I'm trying to figure out how to write that in here now. I'm going to roll that over into my budget. So you'll see that $60 again. And we'll add that here. And that's going to make a total of $250 that we spent. So that $60 you will see again when I get ready to do my budget with me for my next paycheck period. All right, so 250 together is 500. So up here, 1243 minus 500 equals $743 is how much I am working with. So let's carry that up over here. All right, so I gave $25 to the 2024 challenge, 100 for my mini Mondays, and then 200 for the senior binder, like I talked about, the money that Corinne's dad gave me. So that's $325. I'm gonna circle that in green because that's more money than I expected. And now let's take that away. So 743 minus 325 equals $418. All right, so let's talk about the two things that I have under my unplanned expenses. So number one, an oil change. I didn't realize I needed an oil change, and then I realized I did, so I went ahead and got it done. So that's $108. Excuse me, sorry, I needed some coffee. And I'm gonna outline that in red. I should have paid attention. I could have definitely added this into the budget. I had enough in my rollover that I could have accounted for it, but since I did not write it into the budget initially, I have it marked here in red as unplanned. I do try to take oil changes and pay for those, or like windshield wipers or those types of things. I like to incorporate those into my bills. I would prefer to only use my car maintenance if it's for something like brakes or tires or something to that effect. So I am marking that off here as unplanned. And then Kohl's. So I did go shopping for some items from Kohl's for myself and my daughter for her theater banquet that she had. And then, of course, for the wedding ceremony itself as well. She was our witness for that. So with that, I had money saved up in our self-care, and I had money saved up in Corinne's personal envelope as well. And that was the money I took in cash to use. Well, I get to Kohl's and we all find everything that we're looking for, and we have the cash available to pay for it. But when I get into the line, they're like, well, you have to use your Kohl's card for the 30% off. So I had a 30% off coupon, didn't read it all that well. You have to use your Kohl's credit card for it. And so that's what I did. I used the Kohl's credit card, but it was $113 and some change. I went immediately to the bank and put $114 in there because I don't want that to hit up against interest, etc. So I did right. I don't consider this to be unplanned expense, nor am I going to mark it in red because I actually put the money in the account for that. And that's this over here that you see here as a deposit that was made. So I did account for that money. It's just I needed to use the card in order to get the discount. And I'd already factored the discount into the amount of money that I had available. Okay, so there you go. So I am going to add those or take those off of the 418. So the 418 is here. I'm just going to say minus 108 and then minus 114 equals it's $196. So all I'm going to write here is that I'm under budget. And I'm going to say I'm under budget by $196. Now I'm going to decide whether or not I'm going to roll this over or not. I'm not sure. I know I'm going to roll over some of it. I'm not sure how much. So for right now, I am under budget with this particular paycheck. And we are going to do the budget with me on tomorrow. And then by then I should have decided what I'm going to do around that. But not too bad. I do have a few unplanned expenses. One I took care of and had the money for. The other one I did not. But that was just poor planning on my part. So even going out of town, getting married, celebrating Mother's Day, celebrating my mom's birthday, I still came in under budget and I did not lose my mind. Yay for that. All right, so here are my two wallets. Let's bring these out now. Let me get move some stuff around. I'm gonna pull out. All right, and so let's see what we got here. Let's go to the change first. And you guys might have remembered that the last check-in that I did, I had money in all of these. I put some money in all of these. Yeah, I spent it. I might have been under budget, but I spent the money that I had for sure. So I did want to get the change out of this. And again, I only use those wallets if I'm going out of town because I do not want to take this with me. This dollar is going to go in little bean envelope. Let's take care of the change first. That goes into pennies. One more. Oh, two more. This is a nickel. There's some dimes and quarter. All right. So all of those are in. Let's push all of that over to the side. Little bean is going to get this dollar bill, and little bean needs, my beanie baby needs a tracker. I don't have one yet, but I'll add that in there. And this now has 20, 30, 35, 37, 39, 41, 42, 43, 44. $44. Let's put that in there and let's put it away. Next, what do we have in the everyday wallet? And we only have money in groceries, and we have money in dining out. So I did not spend my dining out money. It was $20, not 30, 20. And I know why it was 20 is because I'm off. I took $10 out that I thought I was going to spend. And I'm going to go and look there now just to be sure that I had this right. It's in groceries, isn't it? Yep. That's what happened. But I'm going to leave it in there. So that's that 10 that I was looking for from before. But we'll leave it in there. Let's leave it all alone. So I did go through last night. I went ahead and counted this up, did my numbers for the video itself. I knew that I had a $20 bill in dining out. I also knew that I had $40. I had two 20s in groceries as well. So I know that this is $60. I'll count it just so that you guys can see that. But also you'll notice that you don't see any $20 bills here. And that's because I went into my mini envelopes and took out some 1s and 5s, etc. In my mini challenge envelope, because I'm going to use this as my starter money for my mini challenge Monday that I have, because I always need 1s and 5s for that. And so I went ahead and made some change, recycled some 1s and 5s that I already had, and was able to come up with the exact amount that I will need when I do my Monday mini challenge. So I have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 50. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 60. So I already have 1s and 5s for the $50 I will need for the Monday mini savings challenge. And then there's another 10 in here as well that I will use as far as the budget is concerned. And you guys will see that video on tomorrow or on Friday. And then the last thing that I will show you is that there are a couple of changes that you will start to see when I do my budget with me and I do my cash stuffing. Most of these categories will remain the same. So I have groceries, I have gas, I have home. These are all my everyday spending, dining out for food. I don't have categories for Corinne and myself, our personal money, because we both have our own envelopes that are set up either in the personal binder or the family binder. You'll notice here scripts. So this is going to be for prescriptions or supplements that my Sweets uses. So I will start to allocate some money specifically for those, and I will take on getting those ordered for him and making sure that he has those available. So I will be contributing to this every week. And so this is going to be a new category that you are going to start to see here as well. I'm going to leave this extra envelope in here. He has variable income. So if he has any extra money that can be applied to savings or sinking funds, etc., this is his envelope, and he's going to be able to put it in here so that we can contribute it to the family fund. So that's one thing that you will start to see differently here. The next, on the budget with me, you will start to see subs for subscriptions. So these are for the online subscriptions that we might have. Between us, we have a lot. So he has quite a bit of subscriptions. We're working right now to get those changed over so that they'll be coming out of my bills account to make things easier. A lot of his are yearly subscriptions for like Amazon, for Disney, for HBO Max, for a lot of different things. And those are the things that for him has been the toughest. So one of the things that I can tell you in combining our budgets together that I recognize is that we have to see what our strong suits are, but we also have to have conversations. So we didn't have to come into this conversation saying the way that I do my budget is right, the way that you do your budget is wrong. We really have been talking and communicating. And one of the things that he did share is that he prefers for anything that can be paid yearly, gets paid yearly. But those are the things it's harder for him to track because you have to remember that month and of that year that it's going to come out. So we're going to keep these yearly subscriptions, but they'll come out of my bills account, and I will starting on my next paycheck. I will start to put money specifically in here for those. So I've already counted it up, divided it by 12 to understand how much money needs to go in here bi-weekly. I also made sure that we would have enough based on the dates that those subscriptions are due. And I've also I am also trying to see which of my subscriptions I can move to yearly as well, since that seems to be something that is important to him. Let's just do it once a year, save up for it, do it and pay for it once a year. So we're going to we added this envelope to our sinking funds, and you will start to see me contribute to that one as well. And then the last thing is, I told you guys that we won't see the monthly calendar anymore. This monthly calendar, once we're finished it with May, then it'll be done. And that's because we're moving to a monthly planner calendar instead. I'm just going to scroll in just a bit so that you guys can see it a little bit better, but it does the exact same thing. I got this, went searching at Walmart, found it. I think it was like $6. Honestly, it was not expensive at all, but it does just that. That's all it is. For 2 years, it's just a monthly planner. So it starts July of 2024. I just noticed that, so I'm not going to be able to start this in June. I'm going to have to wait until July. I thought that said June. It says July. Okay. But it goes from July 2024 to June 2026. And literally, that's all it is. I just want to show you guys this so that you know. All right, so you got events, yada, yada, yada. All right, so boom. It's just a huge, huge calendar. And it's hard for you to see, but you've got lines over here for you to document all of the different bills that you have. And this is what we're going to use to take care of our bills. We're going to write them all in here. I'm still going to use my washi tape or a marker to outline pay periods. We'll write in his bills. We're going to write in my bills, and then we'll talk about how things should be paid or taken care of. And literally, once I move from August 2024, when you go into September, it's the exact same thing. So there's no extra pages in here, and that was key for him. My digital planners are quite busy, right? They have life events, they have my work schedule, they have the budget, they have everything. It makes sense to me. Didn't make sense to him. This is a lot more easy. It's a lot easier for him to understand and be able to work in and come in and write things in himself. He is a very hands-on as far as his budget is concerned as well. And so this was part of our compromise, or talking and communicating together. This works for him. I told him I needed that overall view, but he is not going to walk around with a big old piece of cardboard while we try to figure out the budget. So this made sense for him, and it literally goes through 2026. So, and like I said, it was only about $6 at Walmart. This is what we will use going forward. This, and we decided to bring back the old school pens. So I've seen a lot of people to use these, but this is how we're going to be able to mark off the different, using different colors, how we want to see our bills or understand our bills or prioritize our bills. So this is what we will use. And this is something he can always just pick up and take with him to the office or sit down in the den. If he's wanted to work on budget for a little bit, he can go in here and look here. If he got paid and he wants to understand what needs to be taken care of, we can always talk about it. We always talk about it, but a lot of times I am working. I work from home and I have my door closed because I do a lot of conference calls. I'm a project manager. So he doesn't have to wait for me to be available for him to see what we have to pay. He'll be able to pick this up and work with it on his own and take care of some things as he feels like he needs to. So there you go. So just giving you guys a glimpse of some of the things that are going to be changing for us, just because I need to make sure, and a big old notebook for us to write action items into as well. And we've already started to document those down and what tasks we need to do, etc. So these are all, I'm moving back to a certain extent to a manual kind of format for him so that we can stay connected as far as our finances are concerned. I'm not getting rid of my digital planner because that's what I need and that's what works best for me. But I did recognize I needed to flex a little bit in this area and make sure that he's getting what he needs as well, because when your money is funny, then everything else is funny. But when your money's right and your communication is flowing really well about it, then all things are good. And so this was our way of compromising and making sure that that happens. So took a lot of time to talk through that. You'll be seeing in weeks to come some additional videos on how we're incorporating everything together and what it looks like for a couple to kind of move through this space where you're going from being independent as far as and self-sufficient as far as your finances are concerned, to having to talk, communicate, and couple together to get things done. All right, that is it. Thanks everybody for your time. You guys have a good one.